Hey there. So today what I wanted to show you was back in Easy Max Terrain Editor, and I'm just going to switch over there now. What we've got here is I have it open and I'm in the special features area, and what is going on is there's been some new features added to it. What you're looking at right now is this is the planet generator. Now the idea is you'll be able to carve your terrain, and from that you'll be able to generate a planet based on that terrain. So you can see here I got this canal I've dug out here, flattened up in the land there, and then I've got this planet, which if you look at it as it rotates around here, there's the canal going in up there. So there it is there. And that's this area that I've dug into there. So you can shape and build, and then it'll wrap it into a planet for you. There's the shape of it, there's the normal map of it, and it'll export that for you, which you can then bring in as an object. So I don't believe I can export it quite yet. However, it's a pretty neat feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick change here. I am going to go to trees for one thing. I'm going to go bang. I want to go with this tree, and that's it. That's all I want to do. Purple tree, and I'm going to go here, max size. Yep, and then minimum size. I'm not worried about that. We're going to bring it all the way up here. Perfect. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. And now I'm going to go back into here, and I'm just going to go create planet. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to come back into trees. I got planet locked, lock position, rotate. Where is it? Here it is. Oh. Now if I zoom in, you should see that it's all these red trees on here now. So you can see it's been totally updated with the red trees. Right? So now the other thing I can do is I come into the middle here and I can go terrain, brush, raise, and I can make my brush big. And let's turn my speed all the way up here. And let's just put this big, huge mountain range in the middle. Perfect. Now I just want that massive. And then what I want to do is I want to go back to trees. I'll go delete. Make my brush a little smaller. And I just want to clear them off the top of this hill. Then I want to go back to planet generator. Create planet. Now wherever my planet is, there it is. We'll go zoom in. Oh, we're going to go let's zoom in on it. And you can see, you'll be able to see here. Oh, I'm not at the greatest spot there. Let me just go over here where it's later. Just want to see it from a different angle so the light's on it a little better. There it is. There, oh. Trying to get behind the light of it here. Moving a bit quick. There we go. Okay, so now as it rotates, you can see this big swath of mountain right here with no trees on it at all clear. Everywhere else has trees on it. So that's the planet generator. So I just could turn that off now. Planet generator. Now there's also a rock generator. I'll turn that on. Now I got a rock here, and you can rotate around it. You could actually rotate the rock. There's lots of things you could do. Hey, nice asteroid. I'm causing a shadow. But you can scale X, scale Y, right? scale it outer in, scale Z, outer in, rock distance, polygon upscale. So you can go right down to like 2 polygons. Or you know, there's like, that's pretty good right there. That looks pretty good, 22 polygons. Fractal range, you can adjust that and that'll change the patterns on it. See how it wobbles in and out, it's changing the rock shifting patterns. And then you can make it pointier, spikier. You know, there's a lot of things you can do there. I'm just going to set that back to about 1, I think. I didn't see what that was set at to begin with. And in this square, this rock grid one makes it kind of Minecrafty. So you can actually make it like real blocky. I'm not sure what you use that for, maybe a quarry or something. You could use that and throw it in as a quarry so that like everything's shaped out and carved out, have some bricks kicking around. There's lots of things you can do, right? Anyway, that's the rock generator. And then you can change the seed up, down, whatever you want, right? You can do lots of variation. So that being said, I'm not worried about the rock generator. We'll turn that off. I thought I turned off the planet generator, but I guess the planet still exists. The other thing I want to show you here is I'm going to zoom. Where am I going to zoom down to? I'll go down to the beach here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the other option. So say we want to put a path in here, a road, and we want to go. I've shown you the road tool before, but we've got this new section, scaling, and the scaling, I've had the ability to put some input into the developer, and he took both of my ideas and implemented them, and they're just great because I'm gonna show you how simple this is right now. So I can add a person, and I'll put a person right here over by this tree. So now we could see how big that guy is. And it's like, oh, well, we know exactly what we're dealing with then. So I want to put a path, maybe to a house. I want to flatten this chunk of ground out here. So I can go back to terrain, and I'm going to go to smooth, and I'm just going to, where am I here? Make the radius a bit bigger. There we go. The radius might have been a bit big. There we go. We're going to just smooth that out a bit right there. Alright. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into grass. And I'm going to go delete button. And I'm going to just delete that save area. Perfect. Okay. Cleared just the area where we want to build our house. So now we know we want to put a house here and plan for a village. We can't put houses and things in here. We don't have those models that will translate over. But what we can do is I've cleared that grass out. Now what I'm going to do is I can go back to terrain, and sorry, I'm going to go to this. We have this box tool now under the extra. Now I can set these to whatever size I want. So I'm going to put a box dead center here. Actually, I'll put it over here. Pardon me. And now we have meters. And for those of you that don't know, 3 feet is equal to 1 meter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 3 meters, which is about 12 feet, by, I'm going to go 3 meters tall, which is, you know, that, or sorry, 9 feet, not 12 feet. So 9 feet tall, so like a 10-foot house. Maybe I'll make it 4, and then that'll account for the peak as well, because you don't have the ability to put a peak in. And I'm going to go 4 here as well. You know what? I'm going to go 5 here. So 3, 5, so 15 foot. So just a little cabin space is what I want to make. So 15 foot tall by, or 15 foot wide by 12 foot long and 12 foot deep, or 12 foot tall to the peak. So just the size of a small cabin. So now when I zoom in here, I can go to person, add person, and I'm just going to move this person over here so he's standing in front of it. And now I'm going to zoom in, and you can kind of see how that space is going to form up on the ground. So you can kind of see how the ground is. It's like, okay, well, I removed way too much stuff here in this area, but you know, I could paint that with grass or something else and fill that in. For right now, I'm not overly worried about it. Off the top of my head, actually, I'm not sure how to paint that terrain. I have to change the height down and add some grass, but I could paint it in Game Guru Max. I think I'll be able. I think I could paint it in here, but I'm not pulling it off the top of my head because I'm not focusing on that. I have to dig around for it. Probably have to set up a variation map or something, but I think he is going to be adding the ability to paint in textures and variations in the next release that will be coming, which will be great because then you're not just using math to put the variations and things down, but you can actually kind of paint them on the ground where you want. For now, I could put a path in or do something like that if I wanted to, which I'm going to do a path. But what I want to do now is I sort of flatten this terrain out, maybe raise it up a little bit, and just give it a little spot for the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go paintbrush, I'm going to go up. I don't want the speed that big. Nice and slow. And my brush is too big, so I'm going to bring my brush down. It's pretty good there, but what I want to do is I definitely want to change my angle so that I'm looking down at the area I want to affect here. There we go. So I want to put it about here, I guess. And just a little bit bigger. So then we hit the blend. There we go. Now I got a nice little raise up on the ground. Perfect. So now I can go back to grass. Got all my grasses. I can paint those in. You know, I don't want to add some of those too. What the hell? And paint. And then what I can do is just go around this area. Cursor was off screen, a bit too much to paint there. I need to just there we go. It's pretty good looking. Paint this in here. Paint that all in there. Sure. And of course, this isn't really a design thing. I just wanted to paint that in so I could show you now the path system. So now what I want to do is I want to come back here. Got my box where to put my house, but now I want a nice little path out to the beach here. So what I want to do is I'm going to add person, and I'm just going to move him over here so that I can get a good idea of the width of the path as I meander it in. And what I want to do here is now pardon me, a little bit of a cough still. I want to put a path in, so active path 1, sure, that's fine. And I want to be able to see path texture, and we're just going to go with a, just to make it really obvious. What do I want to do? Grass, well, we're on sand. You know, I'll use wet shoreline sand rather than regular sand here. Actually, no. I'll go with desert gravel path. That works. It'll stand out enough. Okay, so now what I want to do is figure out where I want this path to go from. So there's the beginning of my house here. So I probably want to come this way and then just meander it over this way. So what I'm going to do is draw a new path. And if I go this way, continue to draw a path, 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 continue to draw path, continue to drop, path, and one more, continue to drop, path. Good enough. So now what I can do is I can go, okay, let's just start by, let's just flatten only and see what that kind of gives us. Okay, so that's given us a pretty big wide path, right? Like, so there's the guy, and we've got a big place out for the house and stuff. So I'm not sure that I like that. I don't know that I have a, there must be an undo, but I'm not sure where it is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this, change this texture to demonstrate. So now instead of being that desert gravel path, I'm going to go to desert sand flat down the middle of it, and I'm going to make it narrower. So I want to go, oh wait, no, that's, I don't care what the no distance, sorry. So instead of 250, I'm going to bring that way down to about 150. Sure. Now, I'm going to hit the flatten only. And now down the middle, I've got a path that's much better. But if I zoom in here, is that really what I want? Or is it still too wide? Hard to tell. But at that width, what I can do now is I can, because it's much closer to what I want, I can go remove the grass. So now I can see, oh, okay. Yep, I've got a pretty good territory there. I like that, but I think I want it a little bit smaller. And what I'm going to do is just I'll use the wet shoreline sand, sure. And then I'm going to bring that down from the path width. I'm going to bring it back down here to about 100. Perfect. And then the grass removal width, I'm going to go narrower. Tree removal width, I can go narrower. And then I'm going to do the actual create path. And there you go. So now with this person, you can see that it's much more like just a narrow kind of path thing. And now, generally speaking, you wouldn't use these, or you'd undo and whatever. You can rebuild, take your time. But now we've got a nice little sandy path, and then this actually kind of works like a transition out. But you can see how having the person for scale, if you don't want one this big and you just want a narrow little path here, I've kind of figured out what I want there. So what I could do is I can go down new, path 2, and what I could do is I've got that at 100. I'm going to bring that down to 100 now. Perfect. I don't care what the y-offset, grass removal, we don't need it that big. We're going to only bring it up to, yeah, about 120. The tree removal, I don't need 250. I'm going to bring that to 175. I'm going to change this texture. I'll make it a desert gravel path again. Now I'll make it sand. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'll make a different path. And I'm just going to go draw a new path, and we'll go from here, continue path, here, continue path, here, continue path, here. There we go. Now what I could do is I could hit, I just could hit create path because we've already sorted out what we wanted. And there we've got much more of like an RPG walk path or whatever, right? You can see how that works out much better. The original width is here, the default, and now I've just buffered in this nice little one. So now what I can do is I can go terrain, and I can export this terrain. And we're going to export as a Game Guru Max map, and we'll put it in here, and we'll go tools test 1. Save. Close that out. Open up Game Guru Max here. test. Now I'm going to go add a new level. Oh, wait, no. I don't want that. Alright, that's not what I wanted. Back. Delete level. Don't worry about this. Okay, custom brush. Delete level. Perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do is new add existing level because it's already in here. That's what I always get wrong. Scroll down, so I'm looking for tool test 1. Open. Perfect. Edit. Excuse me. So now we've got this area in here. Now what I want to do is just go to terrain. I want to paint some terrain. And I don't care what rainforest. I'm just going to do grassy clover. And bang. Really don't need this big a brush for this, but it just makes it quick and easy to get my point across. Quickly fill this in a little bit here. It really isn't that important. I just want to, it just looks better, so. Just kind of flushes that out. Bring my brush size down quite a bit. Zoom in here. Good enough. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do, drag a start location down here, put you in the middle of these two paths, and I don't care about that. And I want to go customize, and I'm simply going to give myself melee combat, so I've got the hands. But now what I want to do is I want to add an object, and I want to go user, and I think I'm just going to grab this cabin. If I can make it stay to the ground. Bang. Okay. Now I just need to zoom in a little bit and get this figured out here. And positioning. Yeah, it's not super flat there, but I'm going to move that up. Go back to terrain. I do have a flatten brush. I need to make that bigger. Let's go about there. And then that kind of is good. All right, back to objects. So I was able to get that rough shape in, so there's much less that I needed to do here. There we go. Round the ground. Good enough. And then now the only thing I want to do is I need to make sure that doesn't fly away on me. So I've got to go physics off. Okay, show it started on. Perfect. That's good. Close the shapes of box. That's fine. All right. Now I'm just going to run that test. And you can see there's the big wide path there. And here is the one where we used the person for scale in order to make a narrower, just a little walk path, and to get it all set up right. Go, run back down through here. And you can see there is no planet in the sky. They don't export with it. It's a separate object generated. It'll be exported later. But then I'll run over here to the house. And you can see where this little knoll is just the right size. We had to do a little bit of tweaking in here, and I'd probably smooth this out too, but we had to do a little bit of tweaking. However, we got all the basics set up out of engine, in the backs, easy terrain, and got all our areas pretty much how we wanted them, instead of having to export them out, come in here, find out they're all the wrong size and scale, and then have to try and fix them here in engine. We were able to get things how we wanted, mostly this path and that little annulment to put the house on, because we were able to put a human down here to see how big the path was in comparison, so we could use our artistic flow. And we figured that out here on the bigger road that goes out to the beach. So we've got the road going out to the beach, and then the little path. And then we've also got the we're able to make this little abutment area for the house to sit up on pretty much just the size of the house itself. Now I had to do a little tweaking in here just to flatten it and probably make it a little bit bigger, just because I didn't know exactly how big this house was. I was guessing when I set up the cube in order to put the dimensions down. But you can see how much easier it's going to make your life when you are able to put things more or less the size that you need them, and the shapes and the paths and the roads all in place ahead of time before they come into the Game Guru Max engine. So that being said, that's where I'm going to leave it for today, but I just wanted to go over those new tools. I think as a level design aspect that they are priceless, to be able to get your scale right, be able to set your areas up, be able to do all that ahead of time, so then when you bring it into the game engine of choice, it's a lot easier for you to put all the finishing touches on and get everything sorted out. You don't have to do this back and forth thing. So you pretty much get it set up how you want in Easy Max Terrain Editor, export it out, bring it in, set your stuff up where you've designed it to go. So very, very good upgrade to the tool set. I am really impressed. I'm glad that I was able to have some input, and I think you can see where this is going. This is going to be great, and he just keeps making this tool set better and better and better all the time. On that note, I will see you in the next one.